Boom, 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 chickadee chanker. What's going on, everybody? It's a Flying Pig here on Flying Pig United with another cheeky little stream for you lads and lasses. This evening we are on here late night to discuss the latest Manchester United news and also the sort of fallout and the reaction, etc., to the gash-tastic game earlier on against Arsenal. Thank you, everybody, for getting in here. What is going on, guys? Thanks for joining us. We've got plenty to discuss and get into tonight. It's going to be a raw show. So do us a favour at the start of this show, everybody. Smash that like button. Give us a big thumbs up if you haven't done so. Drop a little like on it. You know it makes sense. Do give us a cheeky little like spike at the start of this one. And hello to everybody who's in here. We got over 100 legends in it already late night. Big up yourselves for getting in the stream. Shout out to you all. Dave Lister, you smeghead. What's going on? Mohammed, Sanjay, Erdem, Aaron, how you doing? Danny B, Les, Goffy, Sanjay, Fire Up, Blue Boy, Madhouse. What's going on there? Vachi, Matthew Smith, Travadinho, Fire Up, Aaron, Maups, Kingslayer, Ruthless Sausage, thanks everyone for joining us. Stephen Barrow, thanks for the PayPals earlier, you legend. That was well kind. Get in there. Danny B, Stay Gold, Matters, like everybody, thank you so much for getting in here. Kate Cadet, Kickass, Randon, Richard, Fitness Balance on the Head, Football, etc. Everybody, thanks for getting in here, guys. I appreciate you. Right, well, we got loads to get into, guys. As I say, do smash that thumbs up at the start. Give us a share around on social media if you can as well. The link is pinned to the top of the live chat. Drop a cheeky little thumbs up on it and share it around if you can. That'd be epic and much appreciated, and we'll give you a shout out a bit later on. And of course, if you are new to the channel, guys, subscribe. As you can see, we're working our way up to 74,000 subscribers right there. So drop a little subscribe on it if you are, if you are new. Yeah, oh, don't even get me started, Billy. It's a fucking joke. We're going to discuss it throughout this show. Taco LaBelle, welcome in, bro. He says, we will win the UCL, don't worry. Bloody hell, Taco LaBelle. Well, that's very wishful thinking at this stage, mate, with an absolute bunch of guff bags at the club playing guff-tastic football. Couldn't agree more. Hey, Matthew Smith, what's going on? Yeah, I'm a bit calmer, definitely, TJ. You can't stay like that all the time. You'd end up blowing your bloody lid. But yeah, 100% therapy session with the Don tonight. That's what's going on. Mine's the Stella. If you're buying, welcome in. New to this channel, you've made the right decision by getting involved. Welcome aboard the channel, mate. Thanks very much. Yeah, Flying Pigs, permanent rebuild, absolute shambles. Right, okay, guys. So look, obviously, it was a very disappointing result against the Arsenal tonight. Shambles, in fact. You could say that the performance from United and Ten Hag was what? Pussy performance, was it? You could argue that, guys, that it wasn't very inspired. Perhaps we would have got it right. Perhaps it could have gone better if Garnacho's goal had gone in. I personally still feel like that was onside. It was nice, Freedom Journey. Thanks for asking, lad. Yeah, big up Mrs. P for cooking that up. Guys, I personally feel like it was onside. What about you? Onside or offside? Get your thoughts and opinions in. Now, obviously, Ten Hag's had his say after the game on the matter. And, of course, I suppose he's going to say that it was onside. You know, I guess he's going to say it was onside because, you know, he's Eric Ten Hag and his Manchester United side just lost. But he basically has come out and said some things like, you know, he feels like the decision was guff, basically. And, you know, that it was essentially onside. You know, he said it's not offside, wrong angle, penalty on Højlund, foul on Evans. You know, he feels like we're being stitched up. He was really not happy with the officiating whatsoever in the game in general. Says that there was a penalty on Højlund. See, I've got to be honest, that penalty shout on Højlund, don't think that was a penalty. You know, Ten Hag's clutching at some straws there, I think, in regards to that one. Foul on Evans, I mean, you know, Ten Hag, but the offside, I personally think that was onside. Def onside, and I'm not a bit biased. Exactly, I think it was onside, that one, guys. I don't think it was a pen on Højlund either, guys. Not a pen on Højlund, no. He's having a little bit of a reach there. But in regards to the offside, though, I mean, come on. If that opportunity for Alejandro Garnacho is offside, then what's the bloody point of playing football anymore? What's the point of playing attacking football? What's the point of being an attacker? It's just the odds are already stacked up against you. In football, we want to see more goals, not less goals. Really, they need to do something about this. What they need to do is bring in, and I've been talking about this for years, guys, and okay, look, this isn't a knee-jerk reaction to this incident. I personally think that was onside. But, I mean, it basically looks in line. It basically looks like it is onside. Right, okay, maybe his ball bag, his left scrotal sac is hanging a little bit offside, so they've given the offside. You know, maybe his toenail is offside. Whatever the case may be, something's offside. As I've said many times, they need to just scrap the current offside rule, and they need to get daylight. You know, like when you're looking at a photo finish of a 100 meters race or something, and it shows you the down the line image. You can see down the line, and you can see exactly who's in front of who. Well, I'm talking about daylight. So I'm not even talking about that when there's players' bodies crossing over with each other. They should just change it so there has to be a little... You see that? You see that there between the fingers, guys? You see that there? No, it doesn't look like a Fangita. No. You see that between the fingers? That's daylight, guys. That's not like that. That would be harder to decide. Oh, you know, basically Garnacho is like that today, yeah? That's hard to decide. But if it was like this, so there has to be a little bit of daylight there. You see? Daylight. Then everybody knows when it's offside and everybody knows when it's not offside. And plus that would mean you would favour the attacker. There would be a couple more goals per game probably, and the whole game would be richer for it. Sort your shit out, football. That's what I've got to say on that one. You have to be daylight between the two players, in my humble opinion. Exactly, Stay Gold. He says daylight, true that. Garnacho was in line. He was in line, bro. He was in line. He can't be any more onside than being in line, mate. I guess if you're a metre behind you can, but he was in line. In line is onside. So we definitely got stitched up with that decision, and that's totally changed the complexion of the game and how it played out. Now, obviously, yeah, Ten Hag's reaching a little bit here with the comments in regards to the penalty for Højlund and maybe the Evans situation, but I certainly do think that the offside decision was wrong and that Alejandro Garnacho goal should have stood. Smash a 1 in the live chat if you agree that Alejandro Garnacho goal should have stood. Have your say and let me know your thoughts and opinions. Honestly, I mean, goodness me, football's just gash these days if that isn't a goal. I think it's so poor to have to get to that situation where that is ruled off. Totally ruined that game for us. And yeah, look, United should not have just absolutely crumbled like a rich tea in a cuppa. Of course they shouldn't have done. They should have been able to just hang on and get a point out of the game, but we should have had 3 points out of that game, potentially. I think it was a pretty despicable decision in the end that has cost us, so Ten Hag's right to voice his opinions on that one. Les Comerford, thank you very much for getting in here with the 199 super sticker, says, hey you. Thank you very much, Les Comerford. I appreciate you, boss. Get in there. Thank you, Les. Let's get a super chat emoji in there for Les. Hang on a second. Let me put this up a little bit. I'm a little bit low, aren't I? A little bit high. There you go, that's better. All right, thank you, Les Comerford. I do appreciate that. Lots of ones coming in live chat. Quite a few twos, though. People thinking that, you know, it wasn't onside. But look, this is an Arsenal scummer saying this, Ross Bailey, lad. You know what I mean, Ross Bailey, lad? Of course you're going to say that, bro. You're an Arsenal scummer. Of course you're going to say that. But realistically, it was onside, bro. It was onside. Anyway, thank you, Alfie, and everybody getting in here. By the way, we've got 420 legends in it. If you know, you know. Smash that like button, everybody. Hit the thumbs up if you're just getting in here. Let's get 200 likes on this sucker immediately. Get yourself liked, get yourself subscribed, and get your thoughts and opinions in here about anything we're discussing. So, right, okay, let's talk about this then, guys. Let's talk about this. So, a couple of bits of information about the game that we want to know about. Obviously, Martinez. So, Martinez went off and I mean, what the fuck was Eric Ten Hag doing playing Slabby Maguire and Johnny Evans on the pitch, guys? Goodness me. I would have much rather he subbed himself on. You know, this is just a calamity. Maguire and Evans at the same time. Oh, my God. Who are we? Hull City? Who are we? Charlton Athletic? You know, what are we doing? We're playing up against a good side in Arsenal. Did you notice, by the way? Okay, look. It's not like he really put too much of a foot wrong, I suppose. But did you notice how, as soon as Harry Maguire came on the pitch, we started to fucking crumble? Did you notice that? It's like clockwork. If you play the absolute human slab of a man, he just makes your team worse. He has a negative effect everywhere. He's like some sort of, I don't know, some sort of virus. Everybody gets this virus as soon as he enters the team and they contract it. They contract this virus. He's like the human COVID, this twat. You put him in the side, everybody contracts this fucking slabo virus. Next thing you know, everybody's slabbing it up around the gaff. It's pretty much what happened with Slabby Maguire out there, man. As soon as you put him in there, the standards seem to lower. He's fucking guff. So because of that, I don't really know what Ten Hag was thinking putting him in there. And then you've got Johnny Evans playing alongside him as well. I mean, that's just not a recipe for success, is it? Not at the top level. Maybe if you're playing in, you know, the League Cup third round against fucking Leeds, or somebody like that, maybe it kind of makes a little bit of sense to do. And even Leeds would probably be stern opposition, too stern for those twats. But, I mean, look, these guys are just both backups. And so you've got two backups playing against a really good side in Arsenal. I mean, what the hell are we doing? So I do think Ten Hag's bottled it there. There's other players we could have played at the centre-back there, in my opinion. And I think he's had a bit of a mare, to be honest. So, yeah, look, yeah, Ten Hag's not got it ideally perfect today. He actually has said that he feels like we played well. So let's talk about this. So his plan versus Arsenal. He says we played well. I mean, I don't know about that. I guess we stuck to the game plan pretty well, where we tried to, lull them in. We tried to counter-attack them. We tried to invite them onto us and exploit that space in behind. I guess we did that to a degree, but it was still a bit of a pussy tactic from us. Though this is what Ten Hag said after the game about the plan versus Arsenal. He said, that's why I'm also here with a good feeling, because our performance was very good. I will not say it was perfect, definitely room for improvement, but if we see in compactness, pressing, moving with the ball, making the counters in possession very calm. I mean, look, there were some plus points. Like I say, the passing around at the back for United, keeping all the possession away from home, that was a plus point, definitely. Being able to counter them at times, it was clear, I said it in my watch along, Ten Hag's basically his tactic in that game was to try and show a lot of patience with well-timed aggression. So in key moments, going for it. But other than that, the plan was to keep hold of it, was to frustrate Arsenal, was to invite them onto us, and was to try and get that space in behind. That was the plan, and to be fair, if that was the plan, I guess we executed that plan very well. You can't expect to go away from home to the Emirates or these big games around the league away and play as the dominant side all the time. But we want to see more attacking football, obviously. But, if that was the plan, we did execute that plan reasonably well. Just face it, if that Garnacho goal goes in, we're talking about a masterclass here of counter-attacking football. That's what happens. If Garnacho's goal counts, we're talking about a masterclass of counter-attacking football. So I guess we did play reasonably well in that sense. Obviously, we weren't the most dominant team. It depends how you want to see Manchester United go about it. But actually, from that point of view, I suppose we did what we did, and we did it reasonably well, but we still lost. We were still looking like we were outplayed a lot of the time in the game because Arsenal were not playing that style. Arsenal were playing in your face, up the pitch, try and attack you, try and score goals style, and therefore they had a lot more shots, a lot more joy with the possession that they had. And so, I think it was a too much of a pussy plan from Manchester United. It was Ollie Ball 2.0, except that now we've got a ball-playing goalkeeper. That was it. So it really wasn't that good, to be honest. I mean, yeah, okay, if we win it, maybe we're talking about how he's done really well on the counter. But I agree, Wiggy, people used to slate Ollie for playing counter ball. Exactly, that's it. It's Ollie Ball 2.0. That's what it is. This is nothing new to us. So we spent hundreds of millions. We've gone through a few different managers, and we've ended up back to square one, playing this counter-attacking guff. I mean, what the hell are we doing, to be fair? So I hope we see a different sort of mentality going forward. I still feel like away from home, we probably will go with that sort of counter-attacking Ollie Ball mentality, sadly. But I wanted to see a little bit more from Ten Hag. We've been promised exciting football. We've been promised attacking football, swashbuckling football under Eric Ten Hag. Well, he hasn't quite delivered the goods so far anyway. Obviously, there's still plenty of time in his United career, but yeah, he hasn't quite delivered the goods right now. Currently, this season, we've shattered the bed in the transfer window. We've not really done what we want. I mean, look, let's just talk about Andre Onana for a second, right? I thought Andre Onana performed pretty well in the overall sort of areas of the game, i.e. his passing was a joy to behold, His passing's brilliant, his short passing's great, he's so cool on the ball, it's like having another midfielder playing in goal. Okay, nice one. That's good, isn't it? That's good. But also, one or two of those chances that Arsenal scored, I couldn't help myself but think, maybe David De Gea wouldn't have conceded them. Maybe David De Gea would have made the stop. And that is the primary function of a goalkeeper, if you ask me. It's not to be great with your feet. It's not to distribute and pass. My primary opinion on what a goalkeeper should be doing is stopping the goals from going in. And I don't think Onana had a bad game, to be honest. But, crikey, I just can't really... Yeah, Emperor Jerome says that's because De Gea would have saved them. I can't help but think that De Gea probably would have saved them, boss. And if that's the case, then are United any better in the goalkeeper department? We might be better in the keeping hold of the ball at the back and being able to lull the opposition onto us and play negative pussy football. But are we actually any better when it comes to being able to stop the opposition scoring? Arguably not. Arguably not. So that is a little bit concerning that we spent 50 million on that guy. We let David De Gea go. We spent 60 million on Mount. We could have probably spent that 110 million combined that we spent on those two players on outfield players, which would have made the team a lot better, and just kept with David De Gea in goal. And that would have been a lot of a cheaper option than going to spend big money on a player like Onana. Okay, Onana cost us 50 million and he's on a couple £100,000 a week. That's a lot less than what De Gea was on at United. But we wouldn't have had to have given De Gea, that it wouldn't have cost that much money to sign De Gea back up to a new contract because he was already here. We don't have to fork out 50 million up front. So pretty of a strange overall decision, I think, to strengthen an area in the team that wasn't the most fundamental, to be strengthened. Pretty strange, that guy. So, look, okay, Ten Hag is early in his season here. Time will tell on that one, whether or not Onana was a great signing or not. I think he's a very good keeper, and I think he's very good on the ball. But that's not the be-all and end-all of being a goalkeeper. It's about stopping the opposition from scoring. And David was a Golden Glove winner last year, so I can't help but feel like David would have maybe saved some of those tonight. You never know, but, I kind of think David De Gea was a great goalkeeper. We just let him go. Thank you very much there, Rams Tomo. Very much indeed for getting in with a $9.99 super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Come on. Get in there, my son. Let's get some love in there for this guy. He says, how did we expect to win against Arsenal with subs like Maguire and Johnny Evans? And what was our game plan? We always looked disorganised and sloppy. Yeah, it was a rope-a-dope game plan. That was it, really. Let them have it, even in our third. Soak them up, spit it out, and try and counter. That was the plan. It was classic Ollie ball tactics. So that was the game plan. But you're right, depth-wise, it's not there. It's another piss-poor window from Manchester United where we've been left with a squad that's still lacking in key areas. We've still got human slabs and breeze blocks sticking around the gaff of the defence there. Johnny Evans as a backup signing clearly isn't the answer either. He's obviously a decent backup, but that's all he should be, as a backup. He shouldn't really be playing in these top-tier games against top-tier teams like Arsenal, to be honest. It's just not, he's not there anymore. He just got relegated with Leicester, for Pete's sake. He's 35, for Pete's sake. What's going on? What the fuck's going on? There's no redeeming decision or redeeming feature to the decision of playing both those guys at the end. Shambles. Joe Tate, thank you very much for getting in here with a £2 super chat. There's no message to go with it, or you've retracted your message. Don't know why you've retracted your message there, bro. But thank you for getting in here, Joe Tate, with a super chat, man. I do appreciate you. Hey, look, thanks to everyone for all the birthday wishes. I'll tell you what you can do for me on my birthday, guys. You can smash that like button. We've got 500 legends in here. Let's see if we can get 250 likes on this stream right now. We're on 173. Let's have a little late night like spike. Hit the thumbs ups if you haven't done so, peeps. That would be awesome. And share us around and subscribe if you're new. That's what you could do for my birthday present. Drop a thumbs up on it. Thank you, the Clyde. I appreciate that. Thank you very much, the Clyde. Anyway, so look, De Gea probably shouldn't have gone necessarily, but Onana is obviously Ten Hag's stylistic goalkeeper that he wants. But shot stopping wise, he's not as good as De Gea because I guess nobody is. David De Gea is a fantastic shot stopper. He's probably one of the best in the world at just stopping shots. That's not the overall, bigger picture, I suppose, when it comes to being a goalkeeper. You want to be able to claim the ball from the air. You want to be able to read the game well. You want to be able to sweep up. You want to be able to rush out at the right times in a great manner and do that. And you want to be able to distribute. But the fundamental, most important thing for a goalkeeper is stopping the opposition scoring. So, I'm not blaming Onana for our loss tonight. Absolutely not, but I just feel like there's a couple of incidences where maybe he had a mare. So there you go. Right, okay, so, Ten Hag's talked about it. This is his plan. He said we played well, performance was good. We'll not say it was perfect. Definitely room for improvement. Yeah, nice one. There was some improvements, I suppose. We did score. Rashford scored a nice goal. There were some decent phases of play, but most of the game was all about Arsenal, to be honest. And we just sort of soaked it up and spat it back out again. So pretty pathetic performance by Manchester United. What can you do, though, eh? What can you do, though? I mean, look, it's early doors. I don't think anybody needs to really panic too much about this situation with Ten Hag. There's people that are saying Ten Hag out right now. I've seen people say Eric Ten Hag is over his head and Ten Hag out and he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't really agree with that, to be fair. Look at his last season performance. He exceeded expectations. We've just got to try and get this first 4 games of the seasons behind us and hope to kick on. Time will tell on Ten Hag, but you certainly can't judge him after 4 games of this new season, I don't think. I think it's a little bit ridiculous. Thank you, Rams Tomo, for getting in here with a $20 super chat, mate. That's fucking awesome, bro. Thank you so much, Rams. He says, happy birthday. Great analysis, as always. Thank you so much to you, Rams Tomo. I do appreciate you, dude. That's so kind of you. Guys, get some big love in there for Rams. Well, yes, I'm trying to analyze the situation. I'm trying to analyze the situation here and try and be positive. There wasn't that many positives to take from the game today, but after the international break, with some players back fit, I suppose, maybe we'll be in a better position. Rasmus Højlund looked pretty good when he was up the top there. Powerful, strong, quick. Got him behind a good couple of times. Could have gone a different way. Maybe should have started the game. But certainly Højlund looks like a positive signing that we've got at the moment. Only time will tell again on him is if he's got the bottle to do it for us. But I do think that he looks good. If we can get players back fit, surely we'll be in a better position. But without players like Varane, we are looking a little bit concerning, aren't we? You know, defensively we're not good, especially when you have Maguire being called upon literally on the first game back. The first game back after internationals, after the transfer window closes, you've got Maguire playing. It's a joke. Zamiasi says, Pig, I won my bet. What's my reward? I think Rice could be the signing of the season. Well, if you remember, Zane, you tried to change the goalposts on the bet. So we had made a bet, if you remember. And then you tried to outright change the goalposts. And I rejected your change. I rejected your bet, mate, afterwards. So actually, I don't know you shit, Zamiasi. Plus, you've welched on a bet with me before in the past. So you know what? Call us even, my son. And you know what, Zamiasi? You tried to change it to put in some bullshit background or something behind me or something, whatever you said, and I refused. And I refused to bet, Zane. So don't be coming in here saying that I owe you anything, so I don't owe you shit, bud. Do you understand? Yeah? That's right. You think Rice could be signing this season? I'll piss off, Zamiasi. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Zane, for getting in here, bud, but you're talking absolute guff. Do you know how lucky that was? That wasn't even a good shot. That wasn't even a good strike, Zamiasi. Do you know what that was? That was fucking pure luck. Johnny Evans has put that into the back of our net, mate. It's a fucking deflection. It's lucky as anything. You could go out there on the pitch and just flail your big grandma leg at it, and it would have just as much likeness of going in there. There was no skill or element of class involved with that goal from Declan Rice, mate. It's a fucking deflected goal. It was shite, bud. It was absolutely shite. Are you serious, Zane? So, you know what? Forget it. You're talking nonsense. JRE, thanks very much for getting in here. He says, Joe Tate here with me. He's a fool and an Arsenal fan. Well, fair enough. Those two often go hand in hand, my son. Thank you so much for getting in here, JRE. I appreciate you. Oh, Daniel de Los Santos, that's very kind of you, mate, for giving us a super chat there. He says, enjoy a pint on me, Pig, and happy birthday. Crikey, man. You're a legend, man. Thank you so much for that. That's very, very, very nice. Guys, get some big love in there for this guy, please. He's just given me a pint or two there. What a hero. He says, enjoy a pint on me, Pig. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. That is actually really, really kind. That is really kind. Come on, guys. Get some love in there, please, for Daniel de los Santos. Cool name as well. Very cool name. Thank you, Daniel. Proper nice of you, dude. Zane says, Jesus' goal was good. You have to admit it. Jesus' goal was pretty cool, man. I mean, look, he cut back, he's done the defender, he slotted away. It was pretty nice, it was pretty silky, yeah, fair play to him. The damage was already done by then, and Man United was stretched. That's why you had the space. We were chasing the game at 2-1. That goal does not happen if it's not, you know, for the fact there's about 30 seconds left of the game and United are training a goal. But yeah, he did take it fantastically well, you have to say. Fair play to that Jesus melter. Exactly, Flying Pigs. Jesus' goal was shit. We were wide open. Exactly. I mean, the way he's done the defender's good. But obviously that chance only represents itself because we're chasing the game with 30 seconds left. So it's a little bit of a stupid thing to say, isn't it, really, you know? But it was a good finish from the guy. It was a good take, I suppose, you know. It was pretty decent. Okay, I guess we better get onto the Sancho stuff, hadn't we, Monkey D. Luffy? Get in there, that's the guy from that anime thing, isn't it? Yeah, I saw that. What's it called again? I don't know. Anyway, right, we better get on to Jadon Sancho information and chat. Before I do, though, let's read this out from Michael Brunelli. Thanks so much. He says, happy birthday from a faithful Scousieri. We've both had a couple of crappy years, but you look great, mate. I'm sorry you had a miserable one, but everyone here loves you. Dude, thank you, Michael. That's very kind of you, mate. It turns out there's quite a few nice Scousey Aries, doesn't it? It does. We've had quite a nice few messages of support today from Scousey Aries, man. What's that all about? I'm not used to it. Salt of the earth, the Scousers. That's what I'd say, you know what I'm saying? Well, there's two types of Scousers, isn't there, to be honest? There's the Scousers that are salt of the earth, that are really nice, that are really funny, that are really friendly, that are really, really nice. And then there's the other type of Scouser, which is this scally that will stab you for a fiver. You know what I'm saying? There's two different types of Scousers. I'm guessing you're in the first camp. Big love to you there, Michael Bonelli. Thanks very much for getting in. And let's get a hashtag Scousers out, though, in the live chat. Appreciate you. That's very kind, though. That is a very, very nice message. Cheers for that, dude. Yeah, First Class says, Michael, what a proper lad. Yeah, I bet you're buzzing your tits off, aren't you, First Class, over that game earlier, mate? Sickening. Hey there, Spooky Ghoul. How are you doing? Welcome in the stream. I hope you're keeping well as well. Did you watch that calamity earlier? Goodness me. You're an Arsenal scummer, aren't you, Spooky Ghoul? Get out! Anyway, no, I bet you were loving that as well. Absolute scum. Absolute scum. Rory C says they'd be feeling sorry for us. That's even worse. Happy birthday, dude. Yeah, what's going on? The Scousers coming in here showing empathy. Oh, nothing wrong. Nothing worse than a Scouser showing empathy. Thank you, Simon. Thank you, Michael Brunelli, for getting in there, raw lad. I did, says Spooky Girl. It's a shambles, wasn't it? It was horrible. I don't know how that end happened that way, to be fair. We were so unlucky. I mean, look, I don't want to make it seem like I'm bitter or whatever, but I feel like we were so unlucky with that performance in the end of the game, with Garnacho's goal being ruled out, and then Rice just deflecting one in there. It was so unlucky. You can't write stuff like that. It was like we were on the cusp of winning that game, and just to have it taken away from us in the most horrendous way possible. I was really gutted about that. I think it was just really bad luck, you know. Really bad luck. Thank you so much. Anthony Ong, get in there, dude. He sent in 10 SGD, bro. He says, happy birthday, Piggy. Sadly, I think these players are going to get Erik ten Hag sacked by Christmas. If the results don't come, Sancho should never be allowed to play again by saying this. Player power's going to win again. Right, thanks very much for the segue here, Anthony Ong. I appreciate you getting in here raw, lad. Let's get some love in there for Mr. Anthony Ong as well. Long-time legend. Thank you so much for the super chat of love there, dude. Right, let's talk about it then. So you're absolutely right, bud. Player power. Let's talk about it. So I was putting it off because I wanted to just cover the reaction to the game. We've basically done that now. Let's get on to Jadon Sancho. Jadon Sancho, a.k.a. Billy Big Bollocks prima donna himself. Guy who thinks his shit don't stink. The guy who thinks he's too good to put in the legwork in training, it seems. The guy who thinks because he's paid £350,000 a week, he should just be first name on the team sheet. This twat needs to fuck off, doesn't he? Goodness me. I mean, I'm sorry to say, but who does he think he is, this guy? Coming out, questioning the manager, telling him he's saying publicly that he's lying. Who the fuck does this guy think he is? Even if you do think that, you have a word behind the scenes. Could you imagine Sir Alex Ferguson tolerating Jadon Sancho saying this about him? Tell you what, Sir Alex Ferguson would go in on Monday morning, he'd stick the old Glasgow kiss straight on the fucking twat, wouldn't he? He'd be on the next train out to fucking Burnley or something, this twat. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tolerate players like that talking shite about the manager, even if the manager wants to say that, even if it's not true. You keep your fucking head down, you collect your fucking paycheck, and you shut the fuck up. You don't come out and say publicly that night that the manager's lying. What a fucking twat. Honestly, this has really made me dislike Jadon Sancho. I was giving him a chance, even though he's been absolutely crap for years and years and years. Even though he's been crap for Manchester United, never lived up to his wage at all at the football club. Been prepared to give him a chance. He's homegrown. He'll come good at some point. He'll come good at some point. No, he won't fucking come good at some point, because it turns out he's a fucking lazy wanker. And he's obviously not playing well, training hard enough, not giving it his all, and that's why he's not getting selected in the team, clearly. So let's have a look at what the fallout is, what the news is, what's been going on. So I'll pop this up on the screen. This is Jadon Sancho. So basically what happened is Ten Hag was asked about Jadon Sancho and the reason why he wasn't obviously selected in the squad. And this is what Erik ten Hag said. He said, on his performance in training, it's based on his performance in training. We didn't select him because of that, because of his performances in training. You have to reach the highest level every day at Manchester United. You can make choices in the front line. So in this game, he wasn't selected. I think that's fair enough, really. If you're not putting the legwork in training, if you're not playing well in training, if you're looking like an absolute overpaid prima donna cash bag of a player in training, then you shouldn't get to just automatically play just because you're Jadon Sancho, some Billy Big Bollock space hopper bollock twat who reckons he's a fucking absolute stalwart in the side, who never does anything when he does play ever. So Who does he think he is? Obviously, Ten Hag has said this. Ten Hag is not going to say this lightly. Maybe Ten Hag's saying this as a motivationary tool to say to Jadon publicly, listen, Jadon, sort your shit out, butt your ideas up, son. Do you remember when Jose Mourinho did it with Luke Shaw and people were saying it was harsh or whatever, and he come out and said he's a lazy bastard and he's thick in the head, and he has to basically stand on the sideline shouting instructions at Luke Shaw all game long because he's fucking demented. Do you remember that? Okay, it might seem harsh, but guess what? After that, Luke Shaw's bucked his bloody ideas up. He didn't come out and talk publicly and put an Instagram post saying that Jose's off his tits and lying. You know what I mean? So you've got to respect the manager. You've got to get your head down. You've got to go by what the manager says. Yeah, Dresden Shuffle, thanks for getting in here with his super chat, lad. He says, second time a player has said that Ten Hag is lying. Where there's smoke, there's fire, says Dresden Shuffle. So you're saying that Ten Hag's lying? Well, even if he is lying, don't fucking come out publicly and question the guy that he's lying. Maybe Ten Hag's got his reasons for lying. Yeah, maybe he's got his reasons for lying. Maybe he's trying to give Jadon Sancho a kick up the arse. Maybe he sees Jadon as having massive potential and he's just coasting in training. I'd say that that's probably true. Based on his performances, I'd say that Jadon has got all the potential in the world, but he doesn't seem to unlock that potential. Why not? Does he really try his hardest? Does he really give it his all? Does he really go that extra? Is he the first one in there training? Is he the last one to leave? Is he doing the old Cristiano Ronaldo style training where he's there all the time and he's really striving to get better and better? Probably not. He's probably just doing the bare minimum. So I'm not so sure, Dresden Shuffle. And even if he is lying, you keep your fucking head down and you don't question the manager publicly. Okay, you go in and knock on his door Monday morning, knock on the door. What's this all about, boss? Why the fuck are you saying this about me? You have that conversation with him, mano a mano, man to man. You don't come out and post some shit on Insta. Come on, who's he think he is? You can't be doing this. So this is what Jadon Sancho said. You can see it over here in the bottom right-hand corner. He says, please don't believe everything you read. I will not allow people saying things that is completely untrue. I have conducted myself in training very well this week. I believe there are other reasons for this matter that I won't go into. I've been a scapegoat for a long time, which isn't fair. A scapegoat on £350,000 a week? Goodness me, I'd love to be a scapegoat on 350k a week getting selected all the time, even though I'm shite. It's not like he's not got chances. It's not like he's not had appearances. It's not like over the last 2 years at United, he's probably been given more opportunities than he deserves. He's actually been given more opportunities than he deserves. He says, all I want to do is play football with a smile on my face and contribute to my team. I respect all decisions that are made by the coaching staff. I play with fantastic players and grateful to do so, which I know every week is a challenge. I will continue to fight for this badge no matter what. Shut up, Jadon Sancho, mate. Thank you, Rory C, for getting in here with a super chat. He says, Sancho must be eating those Frey Bentos pies. Apparently, Rashford liked Sancho's tweet and then removed it. Screenshots doing the rounds. Well, that's quite interesting, isn't it, Rory C? Fair play. Fair play. Well, okay, look, they're bros, aren't they? They're broskies. They're broskies. Maybe he's just supporting his mate, but he's obviously unliked it pretty sharpish, hasn't he? Because he's realised publicly these things shouldn't be discussed. So even if that is the case, look, I personally don't think Sancho is right here, because I'll tell you for why. For a start, he said, I've conducted myself in training very well this week. Now, just the way he said that, that makes me feel like he's just done the bare minimum. You can call me crazy, but if I had really busted a gut and worked to my hardest, I'd have said something along the lines of, I've absolutely bossed it in training this week and given it 110%. That's what I'd say. I wouldn't say I've conducted myself very well. That just means you've got your head down and got on with it. That's very different to really truly giving it your all. He says, I believe there are other reasons for this matter. What are these other reasons you're alluding to? Not only are you defying Ten Hag and talking about him publicly, indicating that he's a liar, but you're also alluding to other things going on that I won't go into. What the fuck are you talking about there, Jadon? What are you saying, Jadon Sancho? Spit it out, lad. You know what I mean? Said, I've been a scapegoat for a long time. He has not been a scapegoat. I don't care what anybody says. The only way he's been a scapegoat is that people think he's shite because he's been putting in shite performances. If that's a scapegoat, then we've got about 15 scapegoats in the team. He's not the only one. Harry Maguire's a scapegoat as well. They're scapegoats because they play like fucking actual goats. And I'm not talking about the greatest of all time. I'm talking about a fucking billy goat that you would stick out getting from a fucking farm. That's what these guys are playing like. They're playing like absolute ponsters, to be honest. So, Jadon Sancho, he's got loads of money. He's been given loads of chances by Ten Hag and the previous manager. Loads of opportunities. He's never lived up to it. Who does he think he is? Perform and you will get your accolades. Perform and you will get your just rewards. Or don't try, don't work hard, don't perform well, and you will get scapegoated, I suppose, if that's what you want to call it. Joke, man. Absolute joke. So, I mean, look, like I said before, even if you think that Erik ten Hag has lied and Erik ten Hag has treated Jadon Sancho wrongly, even if you think that's true, and I'm not ruling it out, but even if you think that's true, Jadon Sancho needs to keep his head down. He doesn't need to talk about this publicly. He doesn't need to. To publicly undermine the manager like this. That's not a good look. That's not going to help him out in any way. And it's not going to help Ten Hag out. And it's not going to help the team. So Jadon Sancho's had an absolute misjudgment here, if you ask me, of what he should be doing. What he should be doing is going to have this man-to-man conversation with Erik ten Hag and ask him what's going on. That's what he should be doing. He shouldn't be doing this. He shouldn't be undermining the manager and questioning the manager publicly and basically calling the manager a liar. That's kind of what he's doing, is calling the manager a liar. That's crazy, man. You can't have players coming out talking like this, calling the manager a liar. Player power's gone mad. Not only has this twat got 350 grand a week far too soon, getting more money than he deserves way too soon after performing like an absolute bloody complete numpty of a man, but he thinks he deserves more. It's outrageous. Get your head down and fucking play your way into the side then if you feel like you've been wronged this week. That's the whole point of it. Managers don't have to select you. You don't have some grace for getting into the side just because you're on big money or you're a big name. No, you earn your way into the side. Make it undeniable. If you're putting in wicked performances in training and you're taking your chances when you come on the pitch, the manager's going to be an absolute fool not to select you because you're actually the sort of player that's going to win us a game. So make it undeniable, Jadon Sancho. But no, he obviously clearly doesn't want to do that. United, thank you very much for your super chat here, boss. He comments and he says, shows how weak Sancho's mentality is. A top professional takes it on the chin and does the talking with their feet to give Erik ten Hag no choice but to pick him. Well said. That's exactly what I just said, mate. Make it undeniable. Exactly. You're absolutely right. Get your head down, play your football, and make the manager's decision for him. Make the manager's decision for him. Play ridiculously well, train ridiculously hard, give it your all, impress, and you will get in the team. That's what it's all about. So I couldn't agree more with what you just said there, United. You're absolutely spot on. Thank you so much for the super chat, boss. And On The Head Football, thanks for being a member 10 months, bro. Get a hashtag 10 in there. He says, if Ten Hag can publicly slander Jadon, surely he has the right to publicly comment back, though, says On The Head Football Live. Incorrect On The Head Football Live. I'll tell you for why. Erik ten Hag is the manager of this team. He's the coach. He's the numero uno. He's the Billy Big Bollocks. Do you understand? He's the senior figure leading Manchester United. You don't question your senior figure. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know, think of it as a war. Think of it as your general. If your general's administering all of these, tactics or, battle plans or whatever it may be, and one of the captains is bigging up and voicing their opinions, to people they shouldn't be and causing aggro and causing discontent amongst the ranks, guess what? You're going to get fucking court-martialed or sent to the fucking hole, lad. It's the same thing. Ten Hag is the main guy in charge. You have to respect that. He doesn't just say these things lightly. This isn't another player that's come out here and said this about Jadon. This is the manager. This is the head coach. So it is different. Publicly slander. He's not publicly slandered him. He was asked about why Jadon Sancho wasn't in the squad, and he simply responded that Jadon didn't train that well this week, and so that's why he wasn't in the squad. Is that slander, or is that just being honest? Is that just saying what you believe or what you think? And even if he's not being honest, even if he thinks Jadon did train hard, maybe he feels like Jadon could train even harder and he's just trying to give him a public kick up the jacksie in order to get him to do so. Because he knows that there's a lot of unlocked potential in Jadon Sancho. That's what I feel. So I guess he's got the right to defend himself, but let's bloody talk to him, talk to the manager to defend himself. Let's do your defending of yourself on the pitch with your abilities and your quality and try and actually play well and try and train hard and make the manager's mind up for him. But no. He has to come out and publicly post some guff like this, which doesn't say much about the situation anyway. All he said is, I won't go into it. I've been a scapegoat for a long time, which isn't fair. Rubbish. Like I say, I'd love to be a scapegoat on 350 grand a week. He's actually been selected far more often than his performances would deserve. Let me ask the chat if they agree with that. Maybe I'm being harsh here. Smash a 1 if you think Jadon Sancho has been selected more times than he probably deserves based on performances. You know, based on him getting selected over players like Pellistri, who every time we've seen him play has performed really well, or Garnacho, who, very rarely gets opportunities, even though he's played some really good performances over the last year or so. Let us know what you think. So Claire says no. Dead Revel. Freedom says yes, 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 yes. Exactly, guys. Most people agree. First Class says I'd say the right amount. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Well, a lot of people agree. Berber says we spent 2 years chasing him and he acts like a fat twat. Bin him. Chocolate Soy Balls and Pete Morris say yes, fair play. Okay, guys. So look, it's an opinions game here, isn't it? It's an opinions game, but I honestly do think that he deserves to play. No, that he's deserved to play, but he doesn't deserve to play maybe as much as he has done. He's played a lot of times recently in the last 2 years, not just this season. Obviously, this season he hasn't played much. But last season, he was gash. Vincent Demise, thank you very much for getting in here with a €6 super chat, bro. Appreciate you, man. He says, Erik ten Hag is even for us Dutch, a bit blunt sometimes. But players he kicked out at Ajax said he is fair and invested time in them, but Sancho has blown it. Dude, fair play to you, Vincent Demise. Fair play to you, man, you know. I think what has happened, and some of the younger generation in this live chat might take this with a little bit of offence, but please don't. I don't mean anything by it. But you know what? Do you know what it is about the young generation? I'm 36. I'm part of an old school generation where you'd be sat at school and it was okay for a teacher to come up to you and throw a fucking permanent marker in your face, or fucking cover your head with clay water in art class if you were talking. That's actually happened to me. My old teacher at my school once came up behind me. I was just nattering away. He poured a fucking jug of clay water all over me. It was the first lesson of the day. I had to sit through the whole rest of the school with fucking brown stains all over my shirt, guys. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. I mean, my mum used to bring out the slipper. You know what I'm saying? You can't do that anymore. Guess what? This new modern generation, bunch of fucking snowflakes, guys. Can't say boo to a goose these days. Back in the day, you used to be able to administer a little bit of something called discipline. Think about Sir Alex Ferguson, guys. The great Sir Alex Ferguson, the greatest manager, not just for United, but in the history of the game, in my opinion. Crikey, was he not something of a stern man? Would he take shit off of everyone? If you spoke back to Sir Alex Ferguson, he'd kick a fucking boot at your face. And to be fair, I think that was just a complete random accident involving Beck in that time. But the point is, he fucking chinned Roy Keane once, I'm pretty sure, didn't he? Oh no, that was Cloughy, wasn't it? Or was it Fergie? I don't know. Maybe it was Fergie. Somebody fucking chinned Keano, is all I'm saying. These managers, old school managers, right? They're going to give it to you how they see it. They're not going to take no shit from you. And Ten Hag's entitled to give his opinion in public, right? And give his opinion and say what's happened and say why he didn't select a player. He's entitled to say that. He doesn't have to mollycoddle them and wrap them up in cotton wool and say, oh, you know what? Well, Jadon Sancho's a fantastic, glorious player who trains like an absolute dynamo. But we just decided to go with Anthony today for whatever reason. No, if he thinks that he's not training well or he thinks he can train better, he can give him a cheeky kick up the a-hole, can't he? Publicly with a bit of verbal. And that's what he's done here. Trust me, what Ten Hag said here publicly about Jadon Sancho is not bad at all. Like you say, Vincent, he's a bit blunt sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. So Ten Hag said on his performance in training, we didn't select him because based on his performance in training. You have to reach the highest level every day at Man United. You can make choices in the front line, so in this game he wasn't selected. So he's just saying there's other players that deserve to be selected ahead of him. That's all that he's saying. There's nothing much wrong with that, I don't think. I think he should be entitled to say that if he's asked about it. If he wants to talk about it publicly, to try and give Jadon some motivation. So I think that's what it is. Jadon obviously needed to kick up the arse. Then he's entitled to do so. Andy Young, thanks for the highlighted member comment, bro, and being a member for 14 months. Let's get a hashtag 14 in there. Thank you so much, Andy Young. I appreciate you. He says, other reasons... Anthony playing bad but still picked, says Andy Young. Says, it's an interesting point. I mean, but to be fair, Anthony only came here 1 year ago. Jadon Sancho's been here for over 2, and he's performed a lot poorer a lot longer. And guess what? Even today, right, Anthony, I thought, had a mixed bag of a game today, right? But I tell you what, I personally don't think there's any question in his effort levels. He was getting stuck in. He was challenging. He was working hard for the team. He might be a one-footed, one-trick pony melter, but I tell you what, there's no doubt in his effort levels. I would always rather select somebody who gives it their all in training and in the matches than somebody who just tries and coasts. That's why Fred was selected a lot more than the likes of Donny van de Beek over the last couple of seasons at United. Fred might not be the most technically gifted. Donny's got better vision and better passing than Fred. But guess what? Fred's a trier. And God loves a trier. Fred's a trier. Fred works hard. Fred's got the right mentality. Fred gives it his all. Donny, on the other hand, he's too busy wearing fucking clogs, sitting in the fucking sauna and reading about fucking What Clog magazine. You know what I mean? That's the idea here. There's just different mentalities. It doesn't matter if you've got all the ability or the qualities in the world. If you don't have the right mentality, then fuck off. You know, Sir Alex Ferguson was right about Paul Pogba. Sir Alex Ferguson was right about Ravel Morrison. There's many players at this football club that have had bags of talent, but they don't produce it because they're fucking lazy. You know what I'm saying? Or they've got a bad mentality. So, you know, Anthony, say what you want about him. He works hard, he tries hard, and he gives it his all. Can you say the same for Jadon Sancho? Anthony's got great mentality, I think. He's just a bit gash, you know. But hopefully with a bit of coaching and a bit of time, he can actually be a really good player. JT, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you, JT. Guys, get some love in there for him, please. Thank you for subscribing there. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. By the way, guys, 600 people in here tonight. A lot of passionate people getting in here tonight. And we will get into a big Q&A at the end of the stream. Of course we will. We're 11 likes away from 300 likes, guys. So let's have a little late night bacon brigade. Like spike. Hit that thumbs up button, guys. If you haven't done so, drop a little like on it. That's the one that looks like that. Hit the thumbs ups on YouTube. That'll be awesome. And subscribe to the channel. Check that out. We're only 25 away from 73,000.9k subscribers. There's got to be a few new people in here. You should probably subscribe if you're new. It's free. That way you can chat and get involved, and you can keep up to date with all the latest United news in a no bullshit way. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and get yourself involved with the chat. Oh, yes. Look at that. V2 plus 10 says new generation need that old Pele ball to help them toughen up, says V2 plus 10. Mate, Pele used to get the shit kicked out of him on the pitch. You know, there weren't even like red cards and shit back when Pele started playing. Just used to get the shit kicked out of him and have to play. You had to be a tougher type of player back then. You just did. Absolutely, man. 100%. And also just mentality-wise, you had to have a strong mentality to make it in the game. Red Adair, thanks for your super chat, says, for me, Rashford and Anthony's greedy decision-making will kill us. They do the same shit week in, week out. Yeah, I mean, look, Anthony, I'm sorry to say, he is a one-trick pony melter. He just tries to cut in and shoot way too often. He doesn't have the vision. He doesn't have the ability. Look, I think he's probably an £85 million sort of waste of money at this stage. For £40 million, he's a decent signing, but for £85 million, it's over the top. Same goes for Mason Mount. We spent 60 million on him. He's not worth that. Like, we have overspent on a lot of players. I don't know why. He's a decent squad player, Anthony, but so far he's not living up to it. Can he go on and do good stuff in the future? I mean, yes, he's still young, but right now he's looking like he's not really living up to it. He's not hit the ground running at United by any means, but he has only been here for just over a year. But that's still plenty of time. Anthony does put the work in. He is up and down that touchline. He does put the work in, and he gets stuck in with the tackles, and he's working his way up and down. Yeah, but that's one thing. So you've got to have both at United, though. So, like I was just saying, yeah, okay, that sort of mentality player will always be favoured by me. But the ideal scenario is to have workhorses who have that technical ability. Think of somebody like David Beckham. He's a fine example. David Beckham, right? David Beckham was a fantastic technical player. He had that ability to pass and create and score free kicks and score, you know, great goals and pass and put it on a sixpence for you, right? Great passer, great technical player. He had that, well, not natural, but he had that ability to perform, right, when it comes to the skills. In regards to the other side of things, though, people don't give him credit, but Beckham was an absolute workhorse. Beckham would run his socks off for the entire game. He would work, hard. And the same to be said in training. He was staying after training. He was practicing free kicks. He was there early. He was there late. This is the sort of mentality you have to have as well. You need to be someone that has both to be a Manchester United standard player. You can't just be a worker, and you can't just be technically gifted. You need to be a technically gifted worker. That's what you need to be, i.e. like David Beckham, somebody who was technically brilliant, but who worked so hard as well. That's the difference. So, yeah, you know, you can't have one without the other at United, really. You need to have both. Yeah, correct, says Jason Brown. Absolutely. Beckham was awesome. Absolutely, he was. He was a true one, real killers. 100%. So, you know, there's just an example of a player that we need. So many different players. Mark Hughes is another one of somebody that was just an absolute workhorse as well, who'd work. You need the mentality. You need the mentality as well as the skills. Anyway, right, okay, so let's talk about this then, folks. Let's talk about this. So Sancho scapegoated, is he? Let's see some reaction online here very quickly then. So, this is from Ten Hag era account on Twitter that just says, you can't really say you've been scapegoated when the manager was willing to give you 3 months off football whilst being paid 375k a week to clear your head. Remember that, guys? Recently, Ten Hag allowed Jadon Sancho to go and train away from the side, to get his head together, to clear his mind, and to get back in the right mentality. And this is how he repays him, by coming out calling him a liar. It's outrageous, isn't it? This is very true, this statement. I just saw this online earlier, and I have to say, I agree with this sentiment, really. I don't think you can really say he's scapegoat, especially when he's paid 375 grand and Ten Hag's given him some time away from the side to get his head right and all things like that in the past. It's a joke, isn't it? So, yeah, look. We've all got different opinions on this, whether or not Jadon Sancho's being legit or not. But like I said earlier on, it doesn't actually matter if Ten Hag's lying. The point is, you keep it to yourself and you go and talk to man with Ten Hag and you have it out with him and you impress him and you train hard and you play hard and you make his decision for him. You don't come out publicly and have a moan and say that the manager's lying and totally undermine what he's doing. That's pathetic. Samuel Luckhurst on social media said, whatever Sancho may think of Ten Hag's comments, this is not the way to go about it. Completely agree with Samuel Luckhurst on this one. Don't usually, but this one I do. I feel like, yes, whatever Sancho may think, he's just got to keep it close to his chest. He's just got to get his head down and work hard and make Ten Hag's decision for him by performing really well. And he may feel like he's, to quote him, I conducted myself in training very well this week. He may feel like he's conducting himself in training very well. Try harder, mate. Give it your all. Try even better than very well. I wanted to see excellence. We don't want to see very well. We want to see excellence at this football club, and so does Ten Hag, clearly. Oh... So anyway, it's just more guff coming out of this football club. Not one day can go by without some bloody piss-poor drama to talk of, is there? Not one day can go by, it seems. Very annoying, guys. And, it's one of our players kicking up a fuss. I think it is player power gone mad. There's too many players at this club these days that reckon they're Billy Big Bollocksers. They got the egos, they get the money. They're all given too much too soon. And therefore, they actually think they've achieved something, even though he's a 23-year-old melter who's never really done anything other than play well for Borussia Dortmund. They all think that they're too big for the boots. Well, they need a reality check, my son. I really hope Ten Hag does respond in some manner with this and give him a right kick in the ghoulies. Thank you for subscribing, Bill El Chami, and also Red Buckeye 83. Nice one. Yeah, if you guys are new like those guys, hit the subscribe. We're only 17 people away from the next mini milestone of 73,900 subscribers. Definitely E47. Excellent should be the standard at Manchester United. Excellent should be the standard. I always hark back to Sir Alex Ferguson because he set a big standard at the football club. And if you didn't reach that standard, crikey, he would definitely let you know about it. I remember reading one of Alex Fergie's books, and he was talking about when he first arrived at Manchester United in the late 80s, or the mid to late 80s, and he was disgusted with the mentality of the players there, basically. Boozing, drinking all the time, not training hard. And he put a stop to that pretty quick, you know. He put a stop to that pretty quick. You've got to have an elite mentality to be an elite team. You can't expect to get to the very top by doing things by halves. You've got to do things to the full extent in this day and age. That's why these players get paid so well, to be professional, to be, exceptional. They don't get paid like the money that they get to just be half-assed. That's not how it works. If you want to be half-assed, go and work in a half-assed job or play for a half-assed club. But you can't play for the top teams if you don't have that top team mentality. So, yeah, I think that, these players need to wind their neck in, not come out publicly, not shame the manager, not question the manager publicly, and insinuate that they're lying. It's really quite concerning. It really concerns me. Lewis says, I missed this super chat. Sorry, Lewis, lad. Let's go and have a little cheeky look and see what you said. Big up everyone getting in the live chat raw with all your opinions. We will have a Q&A in a bit, so hold your horses. We'll get round to everybody's comments. I'm just venting here, guys. I'm pissed off with that game of football earlier. And then, we can't go one day without a bit of extra added drama. And this is just that from Jadon Sancho right here. It's unnecessary. We don't need this right now. It's a bad look for the club. We're trying to do stuff. We're trying to move forward. We're trying to, improve. We don't need silly things like this undermining the coach. You know, okay, say what you want about Ten Hag. If you think Ten Hag is not the right man, okay, it's only 4 games into the season and he did well last year, but if that's what you think, okay. But right now, we all need to pull in the same direction. It's pointless to question the manager. It's pointless to say Ten Hag out right now. He's not going anywhere. Get behind him and let's see what he can do. He's going to be found out between now and the end of the season, won't he? He's either going to exceed expectations or meet expectations, or he's going to fail. But you've got to give him that time to do it. You know, so what's the point of judging him after 4 games? It's just silliness. He lost the first 3 last season and we ended up doing pretty well. So I'm not panicking just yet. It's very disappointing to lose to Tottenham and Arsenal. It's the 2 North London bottle job companies. Crikey. I mean, you know, that's pretty poor losing to both of those guys. But stranger things have happened. Worse things have happened. We've had worse starts. Lewis says, remember Sir Alex Ferguson got rid of Yap Stam, proper manager. Damn right, mate. Damn right. Yeah, exactly. He got rid of Yap Stam. I think Yap Stam wrote a book, and in his book, I can't quite remember what he said now, but I think he was basically just criticising somebody in his book, a player, one of the players, or so. I can't really remember now. It's gone from my mind. But Yap Stam wrote a book, and in his book, he was talking some smack about some United players. And what did Sir Alex Ferguson do? He sacked him off, mate, even though he was basically the best centre-back in the world and sold him to Lazio. He was basically the best centre-back in the world at the time. And he's just like, you what? You undermining me and my players and my squad and my methods? Fuck off. Same goes for Roy Keane. You remember when Roy Keane was Manchester United captain legend, and he went on MUTV and criticised the performance a little bit too harshly for Fergie's liking. And Fergie just sacked him off as well. You're talking about making key decisions that nobody likes. David Beckham, amazing player, unbelievable player, worked hard, great player. Guess what? Getting a little bit too Billy Big Bollocks for himself at the time. Walking around wearing his wife's fucking underwear and sarongs and shit like that. And focusing a little bit too much on non-football activities. What did Sir Alex Ferguson do? He pied him off to Real Madrid, lad. He said, let's go and get somebody else instead. Because nobody's bigger than the football club and you need to be completely invested 100% mentality-wise in this club. It's not down to him not being a great player, but it was a lot down to him having other eyes in other pies, if that makes sense, rather than being fully focused on the club. So when it came to the point, even with those amazing players for us like Stam, Keane, Beckham, Fergie was prepared to make those tough decisions. Yes, indeed. Thank you very much for getting in there with that one, Lewis. I appreciate you, bro. Crikey, it's a passionate chat tonight, guys. It's a passionate chat. I'm loving this debate tonight, guys. You know, this is what football's all about, you know. But it is disappointing that we're still seeing a player revolt, if that's what you call it, some sort of player revolt. Michael Brunelli, thanks for your super chat, lad. He says, got my Twitter back after being permabanned in 2019. Following and will be sharing. Remain sexy, my friend. Be excellent to each other. Hey, get in there, my son. Some Bill and Ted vibes there. Thank you so much, Michael Brunelli. Station! I appreciate you. That's good that you got it back. So Elon Musk must have just like, I don't know, unbanned you, mate, personally. That's awesome, though. I will try and remain sexy, lad. It's hard out here for a pig. Thank you so much, Michael Benelli. That's very kind of you. Very, very kind of you. Yeah, give us a follow, mate. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm with you as well, bud. I'm with you as well. Rumoured that the other issues are down to him thinking he played well as a false 9 during pre-season, false promises, and that Anthony will get chosen no matter what as he's Ten Hag signing. A fair one. I mean, look, Anthony does seem to get selected more ahead of players that probably deserve it. I think Pellistri deserves a start over Anthony, to be fair. So he's got a point there if that's the case, Andy. But you know what, Jadon Sancho, I watched the entirety of the pre-season. I watched every single Manchester United game. Only 1 or 2 games Jadon Sancho played reasonably well. He was good in that Arsenal game. Most of the time, he was bang average shite. So, to be fair, I mean, I don't see what he's talking about. It's not like he's played himself into the side and he's wrong for not selecting Sancho or selecting Anthony over Sancho. Anthony was effective. What I've always said about Anthony, and this was the case in pre-season as well, Anthony fails to impress on the eye during a game of football, but he can be effective. He can get you an assist. He can get you a goal. And he did that a lot in pre-season. He did that a lot in pre-season, even though his overall 90-minute performance was kind of gash. He had a few moments in every game where he did something effective. That means something. So, you know, yeah, maybe Ten Hag favours Anthony. I think we've said that before on this channel, that he's his golden child. Of course he is. He brought him over to Ajax. He's brought him over from Manchester United from Ajax. He obviously loves him. But he's brought him for a reason, to play him. It's on Jadon Sancho to get into that side. Greetings, Piggy. You said we shouldn't be playing Evans and Maguire, but there is no one else on the bench. for the centre forward. Glazers should be blamed, not Erik ten Hag, says Andrew Giggs. Hey, look, I completely agree with you, bud. I'm not really blaming Erik ten Hag either. I literally said after the game that, you know, the lack of the investment in certain key areas, like bringing in a defender like Todibo or another number 9, is going to cost us big time. I completely agree. Although, surely there's other options that we could do rather than do that, rather than playing Evans and Maguire together. Surely there's other options that we could have done. So, I don't know. I'm not so sure about that, Andrew, but I do think that, yes, the Glazers haven't gone the whole hog this summer window, have they? And we've been left in a similar sort of position, constantly lacking in certain key areas and not having the depth we need. Well, that's it then, Kate Cadet. He says, in his book, Stam called Gary Neville a busy cunt. Well, there you go then. Well, to be fair, he was right. To be fair, he was right. But you can't be talking about your friends like that, mate, or your teammates like that. So, you know, publicly and jeopardising the harmonious squad sort of values going on there. So I guess Sir Alex Ferguson had to sack him off, you know. Steve Johnson says, after years of not having to be accountable, Erik ten Hag is the right manager to change the mentality of the players. Suck it up, Sancho. Well said, bro. Well said. That's exactly what we need, is a mentality change at this football club. Everyone's so snowflakey these days. You can't say anything bad about them, otherwise they go away and have a little cry. Goodness me. Crikey. Toughen up. Just toughen up to these young players at the football club. Prove yourself. Work hard. Make the manager's mind up for him with your great performances, and the rest will fall into place. It's as simple as that. And that means in training as well. There's a reason nobody selected Donny van der Beek over the years at the football club, and it's down to him being a poor trainer, I believe. Jonathan Gallagher says, what is Ten Hag's style of play, Pig? Nothing yet. Okay, well, away from home in the game today, it was clearly a very counter-defensive style of football that, you know, he was looking to sort of bring them onto us and exploit the space, and so it was a very counter-attacking style today. In all other games we've seen at home, he's trying to play a high-up pressing game of football, isn't he? So he's obviously got a couple of different styles. He doesn't just play the same style every game, dependent, you know, regardless of where he's playing or who he's playing. He mixes it up per game. So, you know, his go-to style, if we're at home and we're playing a team that we should be capable of dominating, would be a high-up, pressing, attacking style. And if it's not, then I guess he's going to mix it up depending on the game. You know, that's right to do so. But it almost worked today, Jonathan Gallagher. It almost worked. We could have been saying at the end of the game, well, that wasn't a great display, but we got the 3 points. And we did it just that we rope-a-doped them. We could have been saying that if Garnacho's goal stands. Unfortunately, it didn't stand. Unless you're cock of the walk like City, you have to play adaptive football, says the Mustard. Yeah, exactly. Spot on. Well said. Exactly. You do have to change it up. So Alex Ferguson changed it up all the time. There were so many occasions where we went to an away game and we were playing a really tough opposition and we didn't set up in attacking fashion. We just set up to get a draw, or we set up to play defensive. You have to do that sometimes. Flying Pig says, what about some positives, Pigs? Højlund looked good, doesn't he? We've got Amrabat to come into midfield, an international break to get injured players back. Hopefully we can kick on and destroy Bayern. Oh, I'm not so sure about that. But yes, you're right. There are some positives there. Højlund, I did think, looked very good when he came on. Strength, power, speed. Looks like a presence up there, something that we've been lacking. He did look good in his little half-an-hour cameo that he had. Amrabat coming in should hopefully transform that midfield a good bit as well. Really, the defence is a big problem area for us. If we can get players back fit. One positive that I do want to talk about very quickly, actually, guys, is this. So we were worried about Martinez and the possibility of him being injured after being taken off today. Thank you, Flying Pigs, by the way. Get in there, you legend. I appreciate that. Get some super chat emojis in there for him. Let's just pop this up on the screen. So this is from Simon Peach after the game, reports that Lisandro Martinez has left with Alejandro Garnacho for Argentina duty as planned. No protective boot or crutches. So that's a fantastic sign. We were worried that maybe there'd be an injury issue to Martinez after he got subbed off. It seems like it's nothing too serious, guys, as he's joined up with Argentina for international duty. So that's excellent, guys. That's a really big plus point, to be fair, guys. Loving that news, because we definitely need him. And obviously we don't want him to be injured or anything. So that's excellent. So that's good news. And we need other players to come back. Like Luke Shaw, Malacia, Varane. Those guys are out for somewhere around about 6 weeks each, it seems. So we're without those guys for a long time. But certainly Sofian coming in, Højlund being up the top there, ready to go and play regularly for us. That should transform the way that we're playing some games. It should do. So yeah, you're right. There's some positives to take from it, but not that many. I guess one of the positives is that we very nearly won that game if it wasn't for piss poor officiating. Højlund was speaking after the game as well. he was quoted as saying, or he posted saying this. Rasmus Højlund on his Instagram said that he's so proud to make my debut for Manchester United. The dream became a reality. Unlucky with the result today, but we will bounce back after the international break and get the focus on. So, you know, loving what I'm hearing there. He did look good. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. It's early days, though. It's still a gamble. You know, Ten Hag's gambled on this 20-year-old kid, paying £72 million for a player that scored 9 goals last season. Now, I know that's not all what his game's about, but it's still a bit of a gamble. So we'll see if that gamble pays off. Steve Johnson, dude, Martial has been gashed much like Sancho. Martial even worse, bud. And he's on 200 grand a week and feels like he deserves opportunities. I really hope that Rasmus Højlund coming in now spells the end for Tony Martial at the football club, you know. Maybe just used as a sporadic backup until we can find a club stupid enough to take him on or his contract runs down. But yeah, absolutely. He's absolutely gash as well, sir. Spot on, well said, absolutely bang on. Okay, let me talk about this for a second, guys. This really pisses me off. So you know what? Do you know who's a complete fucking absolute scumbag and a complete dirt piece and a disgusting sputum floating in the toilet bowl of life and just a complete dirt bag? I've already said that, but yeah, I've said it twice because it's so true. Piers Morgan. Piers fucking Morgan, guys. Listen to Piers Morgan on social media, right? This is what he tweeted after this whole Sancho news came out. Piers Morgan said, "Hi, Jaden. Come on, Piers Uncensored, and I'll get you out of this Ten Hag nightmare." What a fucking prick. You know what I mean? I can't stand this Piers Morgan prick. He's such a fucking wind-up, isn't he? And I bet he's serious as well. He'd do anything for some views or for some fucking exposure, mate. He doesn't give a shit, does he? What a scumbag. Honestly, that's it. You know, sucking on the Ronaldo teat. Doing that. He's just such a snaky human being, this man. He really is. Like, any sort of sniff of causing any drama or, you know, getting some views or getting some fucking scoop, he's prepared to do it. He's an absolute dirtbag, isn't he? I know. Freedom Johnny says, "You what, Piers? What a twat." Yeah, so he tweeted out a little while ago saying, "Hi, Jaden. Come on, Piers Morgan and Centre, and I'll get you out of this Ten Hag nightmare." Fuck off, Piers Morgan, you absolute scumbag. Goodness me. Exactly. First Class Gamer says, if he did talk to Piers, Sancho's career is over. Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Piers is the wind-up merchant. I can't stand him, KK. He's such a little, gotta be little twat, isn't he? Goodness me. I mean, I don't disagree with everything that he says, but just his overall, you know, persona and overall sort of like, you know, moral compass makes me just view him as a dirtbag, mate, to be honest. I feel that he's a dirtbag. Must be, I dropped them. Yeah, that's right. Absolutely, absolutely. Liverpool played well today. Nobody cares, Mendoza, lad. Nobody cares. Okay, you did get 3 free goals, whatever. Nobody cares. Who knows, Matthew Smith? We were trying to get rid of him. We couldn't get rid of him because we're just crap at getting rid of players, mate. It's unbelievable, isn't it? Anyway, right. Okay, guys. Well, look. Yeah, he talks out of his arse. Yeah, fair play, fair play. Right, guys, I'm going to get stuck into the live chat and have a little bit of a Q&A with you legends now. We've been on here for an hour and 6 minutes talking non-stop. Let's get stuck into the live chat for 5-10 minutes or so, however long we deem fit, and discuss the latest goings on at this football club. Thank you everyone for getting in. Make sure you smash that like on this video. Hit the thumbs up button. Smash the subscribe. Crikey guys, we're only 1 subscriber away from 73,900. Who's going to be the 900th legend to be subscribed? Make sure you hit the sub up if you're new. And also get yourself smashing that bell icon like your name was Quasimodo. Esmeralda! The bells! The bells, Esmeralda! That way you won't miss a stream when we post. So smash the subscribe, smash the bell, and smash the like on it because we're nearly at 400 likes. Thanks, guys. Oh, fuck off, Piers Morgan. Yeah, Boise88 says, Pig, United done you dirty on your birthday. I know, mate. They really did, didn't they? I was almost ready just to, like, break out the whipped cream after Garnacho scored that goal. And then they ruled it off. It was so filthy. Subscribe peak today, Pig. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, we've got... Oh, look at that. We're over 73,900. Guys, we're so close to 74k now. That is awesome. Big love to everybody. 13 retweets so far. Right, guys, go over and give us a retweet. The link's pinned at the top of the live chat. I'm going to go over there now and shout out every single one of the sharers on the Twitter. It does help us out big time. Thanks everyone who's done that. Appreciate you sharing it around. Right, let's do this. So, thank you. Big up everyone who's shared the show. Anthony Ong and Guyam Legend always quote tweeting us. That's nice. Thank you so much, guys. Also, we've got a lot more retweeters here. We've got Aaron Homeyard, Sanjay Ramatar, John Greening, Stephen Braun, The Goat Richard Wisterpeck, J United in Gaming, Kieran Watts, Boomy, Larry Hasser, Jason Jackson, and G-Dad Gamer. Seriously, thank you every one of you guys for sharing the show there. That is very, very kind. It does help us out. All right, I'm going to get up into the old live chat now for a bit of a Q&A for 5-10 minutes or so. Have your say now, guys. This is the raw part of the stream where we go in there, we read as many comments out as we can. So get in there with your thoughts and opinions, and we will try and cover it. There, thank you, Kate Cadet. We'll get 75k soon enough. Thank you, Rikiri Bundella, for subscribing to the show, mate. That's fucking awesome. There, and Alfredo Ramirez as well. Get in there, my son. And Ebo Black as well. Thank you very much for subscribing to the show. There, nice one. Right, let's get stuck in. Yeah, Musbury says I'm kind of losing it, being overly negative. Just can't support the fucking Glazers anymore. Oh, dude, great shout. You know what, Musplay? It's a disgrace, isn't it? Listen to this. Gary Neville coming out raw, talking about the shithouse Glazers tonight as well. Look, the Glazers have obviously failed to invest properly in this team, which is why we're seeing the ill effects of like having nobody at the back there in depth. But Gary Neville said on reports that the Glazers won't sell. He said they are going to. It's just a game for them. Of course they're going to sell. They're having FFP problems. United are acting like a mid-table club in the transfer market now, a massive problem. I don't think that these reports that came out last night from the Daily Flail, etc., are really that to go on, much to go on. So I do think the Glazers will sell. I just think they're prepared to play the long game here. They're trying to get as much money as they can. They're trying to sell it at the peak possible time that they can. They're trying to make the potential buyers sweat and maybe up their amounts that they're prepared to pay. But they will be going sooner rather than later, I think. I think sometime this season, hopefully within the next few months, they will be going. You know, I don't see them staying like till 2025, which some of these reports said. Who knows, really? But look, there's so much emphasis on Glazers out right now. There's so much backlash from the fan base in terms of how they're running the football club. And it's not going away, especially with poor starts to the season like this and lack of key investment in key areas. So these guys just need to sell up, man up, do one, get the fuck out the football club, and everybody can just crack on then. You know, it's actually only down to them wanting more money, which is why they didn't sell at the start of the summer. We could have had the new owners in, prepared to spend money and invest, but they just wanted to try and get an extra few $100 million or maybe an extra $1 billion or whatever it was. And they probably wouldn't end up getting that. They wouldn't end up getting that. So that's what this is all about. They're just trying to squeeze a little bit more out of the potential buyers. When they feel like they've reached that maximum, then they'll sell. They will go. They're not staying here for the long haul. And if they do, the backlash from the fan base would be absolutely horrendous. And they'd have to address the situation sooner or later at some point anyway with a statement. And as soon as they said, oh, we've decided not to sell the football club and we're staying, we've got some outside investment, we're staying, then they would be absolutely castrated in terms of, you know, metaphorically speaking. They really would. Oh, bloody hell, Berber. Well, okay. Fucking hell. Phil Jones is the GOAT, caretaker manager until the club is rid of the Glazers. I won't say that. I won't say that. Especially not with Man United planes and stuff like that. But I will say that they deserve to, you know, not be Manchester United owners and they should just fuck off. Qatar will win, hopefully, says Lewis. Yeah, Kate says we need to ramp up protests. I wouldn't be against full-scale riots, to be honest. Well, again, you know, peaceful protest is the best way to do it. Kate Cadet just wants a chance to fuck shit up. Really, that's what he's looking for. But, you know, that doesn't really get your message across properly, man. I'll tell you what does get the message across, though, is not giving them money in any capacity that you can. Don't give them any money. Don't make their earning investments, make their stock prices, make their sponsorship abilities dwindle. If that happens, then they'll sell. There'll come a point where they're making all this money right now. If that goes down like this and this price to sell the club permanently stays the same, at some point they'll meet in the middle and they go, you know what, this is more trouble than it's worth, let's fucking sell the football club. But right now they're on about this offer on the table to sell, but they're still creaming all this money, and you know, if they keep the club for 10 years, they're going to make more than that. What they need is to know that they're not making as much money, and in order for that to happen, we need to get on at the sponsors. We need to get on at the you know, not buying the merch, not buying the tickets, not buying the subscriptions and the MUTV and the membership and all of that sort of stuff. Don't buy any of that shit. Make it, but also don't buy the sponsor shit and make it known publicly you're not buying the sponsor shit because they sponsor Man United, who are owned by Glazer shithouses. Surely at some point these sponsors are going to go, you know what, this is a negative connotation we've got associated with this club right now. We're going to take our investment elsewhere, and it's going to have a knock-on effect of you know, hurting the Glazers' wallet. That's all these guys are going to really care about. Paul, thank you so much. Get in there, my son. Paul, thank you for the super chat here, my son. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much indeed for getting in here. Raw, lad. He comments, so let's toss Churchill before Dunkirk and put Chamberlain back in. We'd all be speaking German. Eric Ten Hag needs time. Hey, Paul, fair play to you, my son. Respect, lad, you know. That's it. Eric Ten Hag definitely needs time, lad. I couldn't agree more. You know, what are people on about right now that Ten Hag needs to go, or Ten Hag's been found out, or Ten Hag hasn't really done all that much? He's not really been helped largely by the Glazers shithouses. He has spent some money, but just look at our defence. We've got injury problems, and because of that, we've got no depth, which makes his job very, very difficult. And, you know, when you've got to call upon people like Maguire and Evans, I mean, how difficult is that? It's not easy, and he's coming up against top teams like Arsenal who are investing, building. It's not easy. Ten Hag's having to do it with one hand tied behind his back at the moment. I agree, Ten Hag needs a lot of time. Jarvis Cocker says empty stadium is all that will help. Unfortunately, no one is willing to do that, says Jarvis Cocker. Well, I think there's a lot of people that are willing to do that, Jarvis. I do. And also, you can even still go to the stadium and protest and make it known loudly. I know some people say, oh, you're still giving them the money. But the point is as well, it's like the actual amount of money, that will definitely affect them, though, not getting the ticket sale prices. But you know what? That doesn't even work that well. I'll tell you for why. Let's just say, I don't know, Billy season ticket holder, whoever he is, decides to give up his season ticket and not go to a game. Or this guy decides not to go to a game. Well, then it goes back to the club, and the club just end up selling it for more money. So the club make more money by you not going to the game. You do realise that happens, right? So there's always, because Man United's such a hugely followed club, people come from all around the world to watch these games. Unless 100% of the fan base are going to do it, it doesn't even help that much. Say you didn't want to go to the game to spite the Glazers and to not give them the money. Well, they're just going to try and sell tickets, you know, anyway. They'll sell tickets anyway. Unless you buy the ticket, waste your money and don't go. I mean, that is pretty outrageous though, isn't it? Unless you buy the ticket, sit on it, don't give it to anybody else, and waste your money. I mean, that's a bit extreme. That's extreme for the average person to be expected to do. You know what I'm saying? So the point is, when you give your ticket back to the club, or you don't buy the ticket, that ticket gets bought up by somebody else for often a lot more money. That's the problem here. So I know what you're saying. Yes, that is a big key thing, but I don't think that's the largest thing. I think one of the most one of the biggest things you can do is to protest loudly that you're not happy with their ownership, whichever way you can, social media, in person, in stadium, whatever your desire is. And then don't give them any money beyond that either. Let's face it, the match day revenue only accounts for a small portion of what the club actually generates anyway. They get a lot from the TV deals, they get a lot from commercial avenues, sponsorship deals, etc. So you've got to make the sponsors realise that they are supporting a shithouse regime. Don't buy the sponsors' products. Make it known to the sponsors you're not going to buy the sponsors' products while they're sponsoring this shithouse regime. And don't put any money into the football club. And that way, the Glazers will feel a little bit of a hit on their wallet. You know, so I don't even blame the people who love the club and go to the games, because if they didn't go to the games, those tickets are just going to go to other people, and the club might even make more money from it, and the Glazers might make more money from them. You know, so I don't even blame the passionate fans who love watching United play, who support the side, who go to games. All I care about is trying to voice the opinion as much as you can, and to try and spread the word around, not to give them any money beyond that where you don't have to, you know? But it's a fair point. I mean, look, if you speak with your feet, if every United fan boycotted the games and didn't go and didn't pay the money for tickets, then of course that would send the message. But the reality is that there's always going to be a queue of people. There's a lot of sheep. There's a lot of prawn sandwich brigade, as Roy Keane used to call it, that will just turn up and take your place. And so it doesn't actually do much. It doesn't actually do much. Rushmano, what's going on, lad? He says, we want Glazers out. Yes, sir, we do. Yes, sir, we do. Thank you so much, Rushy, for getting in here. Yes, we do. Get the hashtag Glazers out, guys, because it is an absolute debacle and a disgrace, lad. Just quickly, there's one bit of other news I wanted to discuss. Look, we'll get back into this in a minute. I forgot about this, guys, before we got into the live chat. But there was just some quotes from Getafere's manager about Greenwood I thought was interesting, so pop it up on the screen real quick and then we'll get back into the chat. But I forgot to cover this during the show because we were off on a big tangent about Sancho and ranting away and everything. But, hey Scarboy, what's up, and Gattuso and everyone, nice one. So George Bodalas, Getafere's manager on the Greenwood arrival, he said everyone knows what happened and the appropriate measures were taken. Everyone knows how it ended, with a non-conviction. He is a very high-level footballer who comes to Getafe with a lot of enthusiasm. For our part, we want to help him. I can only talk about football. We all know his potential. If he improves his football, he can progress. We will help him get back to his best level. So they just want a good player, obviously. They don't give a shit about all the stigma that's attached to him. They said that he got a non-conviction. Okay, well, that's neither here nor there, is it? That's neither here nor there. Like I said, there was public... anyway, I'm not getting into that, actually. Fuck it. Let's talk about the Glazers instead. It's nicer. You know what I mean? But this Greenwood stuff is just... Good luck to him. I hope he plays well. I hope he progresses and everything. But, you know, I'm glad he's not at Manchester United anymore, is what I'm saying. And it's a surprise that a Spanish club, with what's going on, with this whole backlash about the Spanish Football Federation, everything that's going on there, is prepared to take on somebody with such a crazy stigma attached to him. But let's hope that he, puts this behind him and that he is a better person for it. Fair play. Anyway, right, let's get back into the live chat, guys. Like, subscribe, comment, have your say. I'm going to stick on here for a good sort of 5 minutes or so. Let's get into it. You thought Old Trafford was down, Sir Matt Busby Way, not Coronation Street. Constant drama. Yeah, precisely it is, mate. Rovers return. Fucking the wall pack. Whatever the case may be. Exactly what I've been doing. Don't buy the shirts, kits, MUTV, and don't buy any season tickets for several years now, and I won't until the Glazers fuck off. Big respect, Emperor Jerome. That's all you can really do. But like I say, if you don't buy... So the merchandise is one thing. I think everybody should not buy any of that stuff. But if you don't buy the tickets, somebody else will. And therefore, the Glazers still make the same money. That's the problem with the fan base, really. Not a large proportion of the fan base, but maybe the majority of the fan base, the match-going fans, are kind of casual to the point where they don't give a shit about that whole Glazer ownership thing, and they will just buy the tickets if they're available. Maybe they're travelling from, you know, Asia or wherever. You know, it's this club's such a colossus club. You're always going to have somebody to step in and take the seat. So I do think it's not as simple as just saying don't go to the games, because if you don't go to the games, somebody else is going to go to the games, and the Glazers are going to get the shithouse money anyway. Sancho is going to take Morgan's deal, says Gattuso. He'll come back to us next year, says Lewis. Yeah, thank you, Rayar Middleton, for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you. He's already losing the changing room. Jonathan Gallagher, is he losing the changing room, or has he just riled up Jadon Sancho and tried to motivate him, and now Jadon Sancho's come out and thrown his toys out the pram because he's a big prima donna melter, lazy bastard who doesn't earn his wages and is just too mollycoddled and thinks that if Ten Hag says something motivationary in the media that he should take that as an outright attack. You know, I don't know. I don't know if he's lost the dressing room, mate. I see people fighting for Ten Hag. I don't really think that's true, to be honest with you, Jonathan Gallagher. Think how galvanised the team was last season under Erik Ten Hag. That's a bullshit statement, mate. Look, maybe one or two players. There's always going to be in every walk of life, no matter what job you do. If you're managing people, there's going to be a couple of people who don't like the way you do things. That doesn't mean you're losing the dressing room, though. Maybe you losing players that aren't really good enough to pull their weight in the side, and that's fine. Good. Get rid of the shite. Separate the wheat from the chaff. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's true, lad. Yeah, how can this fan base be turning on Ten Hag already? No idea, bud. It's foolish, to be honest. We've got to wait at least until the end of this season and see how he's performed. The Glazers haven't given him what he's required to do the job. We need a centre-back, if not two. We need another midfielder as well as Sofian Amrabat. We've only got McTominay and Donny and Gashbag still at the football club who are not good enough standard. We need another number 9 beyond Rasmus Højlund. What if Rasmus Højlund gets injured? Then we're playing Tony. Tony's clearly not good enough. So we haven't actually gone far enough yet to be able to say that we've got the tools required of Erik Ten Hag to do the job. Oh, no. Sub 2, what's going on, mate? Get out, lad. I hope you're doing well over there in Australia, man. But you what? Being majorly handicapped, exactly. I mean, look, he's got some players in. He spent some money, and he will be judged on the players that he's got and the money that he spent. Of course he will. He'll be judged on how Mason Mount does and how Andre Onana does and how Rasmus Højlund does. And Anthony and people like this. That's how he's going to be judged. But, you know, to judge him after only 4 games of this season and say that he's finished or that he's lost the dressing room or that, you know, he's not going to be the man, it's just a bit silly. It took Sir Alex Ferguson years to do the job of the rebuild at the football club. No, Ten Hag's no different. He's not expected to just come in and instantly get us challenging City. Rashi says, if I don't attend and protest, the Glazers will be happy I've given my ticket away to someone who won't protest. I know these owners don't want my type of supporter to attend. Exactly. That's exactly right. So, you know, you can't really say to a person who's going to these games, hey, don't go and don't give them your money, because somebody else will. And that person will be a passive fan who's not prepared to shout Glazers out. So that's well said there, Rushmano. Get in there, my son. Let's get some green and gold in there. Come on. You're damn right, Rushmire. That's it. I can't criticise any match-going fans who are just going there shouting Glazers out and attending the protests and attending the sit-ins and attending the pre-game protest. Of course you can't. You can only respect and admire people who do that because, you know, they're getting the voice out. Eamon Barrett, thank you very much for your super chat, my son. He comments and he says, a little help with a new chair from earlier. Oh, Eamon Barrett, man. Absolutely lost my head during that game, mate. To be honest, it was an absolute shitter. It was an absolute shitter of a way to end the game, clutching defeat from the jaws of victory. Thank you for the super chat, Eamon. I appreciate you, dude. Harry Maguire says, great performance from me today, Pig. I didn't really think he played that badly, actually, for him. But you know what? It's so apparent that as soon as Maguire comes on the pitch, we are a worse team, overall. He's had a lot to deal with, yeah. We do, Matthew Smith. Need to give him some more chances, it's true. 10 billion, I won't say 1 billion, anyone would kill this shit. You what? Viable Solutions says, sorry, Pig, but I think you're wrong. There are many clubs in the Premier League that would kill for the players that United have, but they can't afford them. United need a full enema, in my opinion. Wow, you had to go there, didn't you? A full enema, not open heart surgery, but an enema. We know where your mentality's at. No, fair play to you, Viable Solutions. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, look, there's obviously teams out there that would love to be able to spend 85 million on a player like Anthony, or 60 million on a player like Mount, or 72 million on a player like Rasmus. It's true. But, you know, we've still got some fundamental issues in the squad, and for a top team with top expectations, we're not just a mid-table club in the Premier League. You said many clubs in the Premier League. We're not like many clubs in the Premier League. We're a club that's expected to be challenging at the top, which means that we need the top players. We need the top money spent on players. We need the top investment. We need the top depth. So if we don't have all of that, how are we expected to do the best? There's always going to be teams that overperform. Look at Brighton. But the fact is, we are United. We should be going for the best of the best, but we're not. You know? I mean, we are in some areas, but we're not in all. And so we are still wanting in certain key areas. Yeah, that's interesting, Jarvis. Says the folks from 1958 need to get creative. How about this? Giant screens outside the stadium for every game with a wild party of fans outside and a whole bunch of emptiness on the inside. Giant screens outside the stadium for every game with a wild party of fans outside and a whole bunch of emptiness on the inside. Well, that actually would be pretty fucking sick, wouldn't it? I mean, it's pretty hard to organise such things. But that's the point. How are you going to not get the majority of fans still going in the stadium? Because most people are just sheeples and they're going to go in there anyway. So even if 30% of the fan base doesn't attend the game, 70% of the fan base still will, and even more so maybe other people who will buy the tickets that are spare going. So I don't know, it's going to be very hard to do that. It's very hard to do that. That's the reality. And unless you do something that, like what happened for that Liverpool game a couple of years back, when you surround the stadium and don't let the game take place, that maybe is the only way you could actually get a full-on conclusion to this, of what we want, which is to not let the games take place. And in order to do so, you know, you've got to get creative with that as well, because they up their policing and they up the ways that they got the players in there and everything. So I don't know, it's very difficult, isn't it? It's very difficult. You're asking people, if you do that, you're asking people to get like public order offences and stuff, you know, essentially. Oh goodness. If Liverpool bought Anthony, he'd be 40 million. Probably right, Fitness Punch. We did get bent over there, lad. 100% true. It's the human centipede and the Glazers are at the front. Stop swallowing their shit. You're out here. Hey, thank you, Mark Coughlin. Thank you so much, bud. Yes, I appreciate you. You have a great day, man. Back soon. Going to empty my colostomy bag. Bloody hell. You and Scotty McTominay. Brighton will beat United and people will excuse the disgusting backline and make excuses. The backline is horrendous. But we will never be the top of the Glazers in charge. Completely agree. They are the ones that are holding us back. We will never win the league. We will never be where we need to be with the Glazers here. Can't even really truly judge Ten Hag whilst the Glazers are still here. They are shackling us that much. You can't see what United's all about until those wank bags are gone. That's the reality. Any manager that comes in is going to struggle with the Glazers. Next time the Glazers are over for a game, they should be allowed to leave the ground. Should not be allowed to leave the ground. Yeah, fair play. 60 million, fair play to your normal channel with Riley Taylor. Respect it. But certainly not 85. Glazers basically sending Ten Hag to the Premier League potluck with saltines and chopped up hot dog wieners. Fucking hell, you can tell you're a North American. Who don't believe Man United lose next game, bet some money, then think, Glazers are a handbrake on the club, get them out. Very well said, everyone. Spot on. Laura Longman says, how do I know when I can be on my own without being in the hospital? You what? What's that all about, Laura Longman? Sorry. I don't know what that means. Brighton is a must-win game and we're without the plank. Get rid of the Schweitzer, Paul. Fans should hire a personal investigator and see what the Glazer heads are up to. I like his style. Sir Alex was able to win in spite of the Glazers. Yeah, but he was, you know, he was something special, and he'd already still... the Glazers came in while Sir Alex Ferguson was at the club. To be fair, he was still here for like 6 or 7 years while the Glazers shithouses were still there. But the mentality of Sir Alex was still there before and after the Glazers came. As soon as Fergie went, that's when the problems really truly came, because, you know, they actually gave Fergie what he wanted, and we still had that pull to be able to buy the players that we wanted, etc., whilst he was still there. But the same can't be said for managers afterwards. The thing is, when the Glazers have come to the club in the past, they have armed police protecting them. They even have bodyguards. That's so true. They literally do, mate. You're absolutely bang right. They do have security and stuff. You're so right. Yep. Maguire humiliated by Arsenal's fan today, and yet he will think he is great. Anthony tonight defensively was brilliant. He was good defensively. Yeah, it's not enough though, but he worked very hard. That is why Anthony gets in there ahead of Sancho, because he works very hard. Brighton will batter us. Onana can't seem to keep a clean sheet. As I said at the start of the show, I think Onana's fantastic with his feet. There's no doubt about that, but maybe De Gea saved some of those chances that he conceded. You know, I think that's fair. I'm going against popular opinion here. We will beat Brighton. Yes, come on, United. Let's be having you. Piggy, before I go, I need to know how Mrs. Pete's fry-up went down. It was bloody good, actually, mate. She's a cracking fry-up maker. Time for Fergie to speak up. He's so passive in that. He never criticises the Glazers. In fact, he praises them all the time. That does piss me off about Sir Alex, actually. That's the only thing that pisses me off, is he never says anything about the Glazers. He always just says, oh, they're very good and they gave me what I want. He never said anything bad about them. That pisses me off. Okay, guys. Anyway, look, I'm going to have to wrap this stream up now. It's getting late. It's getting late. Exactly. Who's prepared to attend protests going forward? Go on, Rushmano. That's it. Check out Rushmano's page on Twitter, United transfers _UTD. Also check out the 1958, the _ 1958. That way you'll be able to keep up to date with what's going on in regards to protests and stuff. Tommy says, our history doesn't give us the right to be successful. Maybe we should just admit the glory days are gone for good. That's a fair point, but with the fan base, with the commercial revenue, with the amount of money this club makes, with the tremendous support around the globe, we should be aiming for success, you know, we should. But fair point. Thank you, Travadinho. Yes, share the 58's tweets, etc. Get it out there, guys. Protest any which way you can. Look, don't buy the merch. Don't buy these subscriptions. Don't give them the money. That's going to hurt them the most. Don't buy the sponsors' stuff. Make it known publicly to the sponsors that you're not going to buy their shite. Stuff like that. You know, we can only do what we can do. Thank you, Sub2. Guys, I'm going to wrap this up, but we are going to do a giveaway, right? I'm going to ask you guys to go over to my rant video, which is at the, which I'll put at the top of the live chat. It's the Arsenal one. It will help us maybe get a few more views if you go over there and comment on it. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is to pop over there, give it a watch if you haven't done so, but also enter a comment in it. Everybody who enters between now and 1 a.m., so you've got just over an hour, comment to enter here, will be entered into a t-shirt competition, and we will draw that tomorrow or the next day or sometime soon. So there it is, guys. I'll pop it in the live chat. Replace pinned tweet. There it is, guys. Go over there. Give us a comment on that video. Give it a watch and a thumbs up as well. And you do have to be subscribed, of course, if you want to enter the giveaway. We gave away 3 t-shirts yesterday. There's going to be another one given away tomorrow. Go over there. Smash the like. Smash a comment on it. Don't worry if you've already commented on it. It's just going to count the comments that are on there in the next hour or so will count. So don't worry if you've already commented on it. Just comment again, something about the game or whatever. Get your thoughts in there. So everybody who comments in the next 1 hour will be entered into the t-shirt competition. That's it for me. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Reddit there, for the super chat. It says, find dirt on the Glazers and blackmail the fuckers. Fair play. I'll leave that up to some of you guys. Thank you, Larry Hassa. Thank you, Dino. You know, thanks. Big up everyone who's got in here tonight. Jarvis Cocker. Thank you very much, Jarvis. I'm 36, mate. I know. 36 now, my friend. Thank you so much for the happy birthdays, everyone. I want to say thank you to everybody who's wished me a happy birthday today. Thank you, everybody who watched the streams today. Oh, yes, indeed. Thank you, Matthew Smith. I appreciate it. Thank you, everyone. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to wrap it up. Come back after this is finished and get your thoughts in about, you know, Sancho and Ten Hag and the team and how he performed, etc. Thank you, Chris Koo, for the super chat as well, mate. Get in there, my lad. Thank you so much to Chris Koo, bro. Why is that not popping up? Oh, there it is. It says, happy birthday, pig. Love you, bro. Thank you so much. Hashtag Glazers out. Gungshi, I am live, mate. Yes, I've gone in here raw tonight, mate. Please watch the show back. It's a passionate one. It's a great one, Gungshi, with a lot of great input from the the Bacon Brigade about some key topics. Go and watch it back, my son. Gungshi Legend, thank you for all your mad support as well as usual. And everybody else, thanks so much for getting in. Gungshi, have a great one. Thank you, Gungshi. It's only my birthday for another 11 minutes. Thank you, Rayal Middleton. I appreciate you for becoming a member of the channel. Check this legend out. Rayal Middleton has become a member of the channel. Get in there. Get your favourite emoji to welcoming him. Thank you so much. Guys, click the link at the top of the live chat. Thank you, Rayal Middleton. Click the link at the top of the live chat. Go over to that video. Comment on it. If you comment in the next hour or so, you will be entered into the giveaway. There you go. That's it from me. Once again, here's the link. So click that link. Go over there at the end of this show, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, and Kick at Flying Pig United. All the links are in the description. Big love to everyone who's got in here. Ezio Auditor with a late super chat as well says, I think Ten Hag is a liar, says Ezio Auditor. Wow, okay, well, even if you think he's a liar, it doesn't matter, Ezio. Like I said, it doesn't matter if Jadon Sancho knows he's a liar. Tell you what Jadon Sancho needs to do. He needs to confront Erik Ten Hag behind the scenes and say, why are you lying about me, boss? And Ten Hag will probably say to him, you need to kick up the arse because you're being a bit lazy, my son. Or I want to get even more from you. And there'll be a reason why Ten Hag said that. If Ten Hag's genuinely lying, there'll be a reason why he said it. That's why I think he won't just be saying it just to pick on Jadon Sancho. No, he'll be saying it because he wants to try and get more out of Jadon. And this is a motivationary tool, probably. And Jadon needs to keep his head down, work on his effort levels, and force his way into the team and make himself undeniable. That's what he needs to do, lad. But fair play to you, though. Okay, guys. Thank you, Gungshi. Yeah, watch it back. Come back and have your say, folks. That's it from me. Go click this link. Have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next one. Piggy loves you. And remember, when the seagulls follows the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Simon Cowie. I was just about to end then, mate. Simon Cowie's got it. I can't go, can I? You guys are super chatting in here raw, bro. Simon Cowie, thank you very much for the super chat here, man. He says, happy birthday, pig, mate. Thank you, Simon Cowie. That's very kind of you getting in here raw with a £10 super chat before we even... Just literally, we're about to finish. You're a legend, my friend. Thank you so much there, bro. That's awesome. Simon Cowie, thanks so much, bud. Very nice of you. Catch you on the next one, everybody. Cheers, Simon. Cheers, everyone else. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Piggy loves you. And remember, when the seagulls follow the trawler, as this is because they think sardines will be thrown into the sea. Thank you very much.